What's up, guys? It's Jeremy Lou Photography. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I have just left IKEA, got back from Mexico last night, had to go to IKEA and spend a ton of money, get a ton of stuff. Truck is full of IKEA stuff everywhere. And wanted to do a little video that I've been meaning to do in the last couple days. I'm driving now and I feel like I can do this safely. But if you don't like the whole video and driving thing, just pretend I'm not driving and life will be awesome. But today's video is gonna be about my first wedding. This came about, I was talking to, doing some comments and kind of going through it, and one other person that likes my page that was talking to me basically said something to the effect of, it's not fair, you've always been good at weddings, you probably just know how to shoot weddings and amazing and all that, which I kind of thought was a ridiculous comment. But I can kind of see where they're coming from with that, simply because the fact of you really only see what I've become rather than what I've started with. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of talk about my very first wedding with you guys and explain to you how it was, how it went. And I actually don't have the images anymore within these hard drives. I have it archived in a special hard drive that I have to go and actually get, so I'm not going to put any of those images on here. And also, I'm not sure, I don't follow the couple too much, but I don't know if they're together anymore, and I don't want to do that. But this actually has nothing to do with the couple per se, but it's more about my experience with it. So we're going to kind of talk about it. I've been shooting for 9 years, and if you guys remember when I first started weddings, I contacted 5 photographers. Basically, they all told me to drop dead. I'm gonna kill the industry, don't shoot, don't do whatever. So I kind of did this on my own, and I had nobody to really mentor or train me on how to shoot weddings or what to expect. So I kind of did it on my own. I did the best way that I could. So I met this couple via Craigslist. I put a Craigslist ad out and said, hey, photographer, looking to shoot engagements and weddings, contact me if you're interested. I actually got an email back from an amazing girl who kind of, let's say, sparked my wedding my wedding world, because she gave me the opportunity to actually photograph her wedding and engagement. First it was just the engagement, so she actually booked me for the engagement. It was a really cool shoot up in Lockwood. Her and fiance both are really young, and I believe younger than I was even at the time. And super fun engagement shoot. We did it for like $100. They got everything on edited images, or edited on a CD, and I didn't have an online gallery or anything yet at the time. And basically we did this really cool 2-hour engagement shoot, like 4 outfits. I did some really cool editing, some playing, all natural light. I did have a speed light, and I tried to do some strobe and stuff, but I still didn't understand it, so it kind of looked weird when I look back at it. So really fun engagement. After that, they actually asked me to shoot their wedding. And I was like, yes, I would love to do that, without even thinking about how to shoot a wedding. I had no idea what to do. I had no idea what to expect. So I did the best that I could. So I had a few months to plan for their wedding. And I think I charged, I want to say $500 for the day, which ended up being about 6 hours or so, something like that. And was at in Tahoe, on a nice little hotel along the beach in the back, and they kind of reserved the hotel, and they got the beach, and they got this really cool area. I haven't been there since, but I do remember that I was like, oh, this is really cool, this is Tahoe, this is what weddings are all about. Amazing, awesome, cool stuff. I shot with a Sony A300, which was my first camera and the only camera that I had at the time. I had a speed light, a Sony speed light, and I had a 85 to 300 kit lens for the Sony, and then the 18 to 50 kit lens for the Sony. I remember at the time that's all I thought I needed, which, you know, you can shoot a wedding with just those. Ooh, that's cool. With just those two lenses, but also it was a kit lens. I didn't know anything. I shot everything in manual. I knew to go into manual, but I had no idea what any of the stuff meant. In fact, when you guys look into your viewfinder, you'll see a little thing with a 0, +1, -1, or -1, -2, +1, +2, which is your exposure meter. I had no idea what that was, and so I would take a shot and adjust, take a shot and adjust, and that's kind of how I did it. A lot of chimping, more chimping than not, even though I still chimp a lot, and I don't think there's anything wrong with chimping, just as long as you're getting some shots out of it. So getting ready for this amazing wedding, I ended up bringing a little bag, a little low pro bag, and had my gear in it. I didn't have a belt, didn't have anything. I think I just had a neck strap on it. So I was ready to go. I wore a full suit because that's what I thought photographers did, right? They wear full suits. So black suit, gray shirt, pink tie, something like that. And I rocked that wedding. So I shot the getting ready, 2 different locations for them, and it was in the, I think it was late summer. No, even later than that, I think like early fall, because I remember the sun going down early. Did the ceremony outside. They set up their own stuff, and then the reception was outside as well. Well, with this wedding, I had not taken into consideration anything about a timeline, nor what would happen when the lights went out. They did not have any lighting outside at all. Pitch black. So if you go to Tahoe anywhere and you have no lighting, it's pitch black. I didn't take that into account. I had a speed light, but I don't remember that it being like I couldn't use it for some reason, or the batteries were out, or something happened where I couldn't get it to actually work. So I was super upset and I couldn't figure it out. So let's talk about the timeline part first. I had no idea what was happening. Basically, I was just kind of walking around shooting things. And I'm like, all right, you guys doing this now? Oh, let's do some shots here, let's do some shots here. I forgot to do family photos completely. Again, my very first wedding, no idea. So we ended up doing family photos at night in the reception, during the reception. Luckily, the venue, the dude had some Home Depot tungsten lights, that, you know, garage lights. And we shined those on. And basically, I just had family photos go in. I just set my camera and I just started shooting as much as I could. Oh my God, it was, now that I think about it, it's embarrassing. It's super embarrassing to think about that. I remember the poses that I did for my bride were very like modelly, were very like hands on the hip. A lot of like cool stuff like this. A lot of this, where they do the flip off with the ring finger. I did that for like 2 years. And I don't do that anymore. If you do that, it's totally fine. It's just, I stay away now from like the gimmicky stuff and I actually shoot like, you know, people. So instead of doing like going for a pose to pose to pose, we actually go like, all right, I want to get you guys' reaction. I want to see your love and blah, blah, blah. So, oh my God, it's hilarious. It was a very fun wedding though. I remember having a great time. I remember everybody, you know, being very nice to me, loving it. She was super happy with the wedding photos after the fact. It took me a couple weeks to do rather than my 4 months now. But that was my first wedding, guys. I mean, I did everything on a CD and that's it. I look back at those images now and I cringe. I cringe hard. It was with a not so great camera, a not so great photographer, shooting the most important part of somebody's life. If I were to talk to my old self again, I would say, don't do it, bro. Take some time and actually like learn how to be a photographer before you shoot somebody's wedding. I'm an entrepreneur. I was excited to do it. I was ready to go. And plus, I had nobody to tell me not to do that. So I did it. You know, Right, let me know what you guys think. How was your first wedding? Comment below. Let me know, like, are you about to do your first wedding? Had you done your first wedding? Were you happy with your first wedding? Was your client happy? It's kind of fun to know these stories, especially of the professional photographers that we follow, because not everybody starts the way they start off. It takes a process, and I can tell you hundreds of stories on mistakes that I've made and things that I've done, and mistakes that I'm still making, and how I'm learning from it. But thanks for listening to me, guys. I'm about halfway home in beautiful Donner right now, driving through. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. If this helps out in any way, give me a thumbs up. And comment below. Let's get a little dialogue going. I'm going to continue my drive home, listen to some Spotify. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.